What's up guys, just a quick heads up that the music was blocked in this video due to copyright, so I have muted the audio. However, I have provided a link to the song in the description, so you can open a new tab and listen to the song alongside with my reaction. Or you can just join me on Patreon for unedited footage. But for now, enjoy the video guys. Honestly, no idea what I'm doing in the intro. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for being here. Let's go ahead and continue on with the album 666 by Aphrodite's Child. Let's go ahead and move on to side 2 of the album, of this 4-side album. This will be the tracks. We got a lot of tracks actually. We got 10 tracks on this side, but most of them are relatively short, like lower than 3 minutes. Some lower than 15 seconds. This will be the Aegean Sea, Seven Bowls, The Awakening Beast, Lament, The Marching Beast, Battle of the Locust, Do It, Tribulation, The Beast, and Ophis. I hope that you guys are enjoying the album listen. I gave it a little bit of a break, but now we are returning to the album. I have no idea what I was doing there in the intro. I really don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I think of like, what can I do during this intro? Sometimes I'm just listening to music. Sometimes I want to dance. And sometimes I want to pull out the darbuka and play over a little bit of art jazz. Anyways, hey, hope you're having a lovely day, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and get it popping. I'm going to go ahead and start from the 7th seal and just let the last few seconds or so play. And then we'll let it slide into Aegean Sea, carrying forward down to Ophis. So let me just get that up here. Here comes the music so it doesn't scare you. And we'll get right about here.
Suffer from thirst.
Let's go.
And when the Lamb opened the 7th seal, silence.
I'm gonna go back and let it fade into Seven Bowls, but I do want to talk really briefly about Aegean Sea, or Aegean Sea. How beautiful does that guitar just sail across the serenity of the sea in this track? That is just blissful, that is bluesy, that is like mellow, that's melodic. It's just sailing so calmly and flowing so beautifully and evenly on the Aegean Sea. I really like the dynamics in the first half of this track between the mellow drifts that the melodies just kind of wash us away with, and then how it gets into that little funky beat for a little while. It's extremely funky, and even the speaking at the end it sounds either someone speaking in like a really low voice, but that even sounds and adds kind of a soul vibe to it, just the way the speaking is done. I really like how they get into that there, but let me pull it back just about the first third of Aegean Sea. Of course, the crashes like waves against the rocks. This. Isn't that soul and funky? Now, during that section, I don't always like when a group will come out of, like, let's just say, for example, taking this, like a mellow section, get into this awesome drive, and then cut it off a bit prematurely and go back to like a mellow section or something. I'm like, oh, let me ride the beat a little bit. You know, let me ride that wave just a little bit because it's such a good wave. Here, did it bother me? A little bit, admittedly a little bit, but the ending more than made up for it because they kind of got back into it, and I love what they're doing back here. Obviously, the vocals are very prophetic and, you know, kind of going with the theme of the and the nature of the album here. That buzzing noise, I don't know what exactly is doing that, but I was thinking, oh, that might be like the Locust, because I know that later on is talking about the Battle of the Locust. But that's about 5 tracks from now, so maybe it's a little bit too early for that to be in there. But I do think that that's kind of cool. It's just a very fat buzz, different kind of ambience in here. And then the lyrics here on this track. I saw the souls, I saw the martyrs, I heard them crying, I heard them shouting, they were dressed in white, they'd been told to wait. I think this is kind of talking about like those who are going to heaven, basically. The sun was black, the moon was red, the stars were falling, the earth was trembling, and then a crowd impossible to number, dressed in white, carrying palms, shouted amid the hotless sun, the lightless moon, the windless earth, the colorless sky. They'll no more suffer from hunger, they'll no more suffer from thirst. I'm not quite up to date on my Bible, my Bibleology and stuff, but basically those who are, I guess, raptured, right? Or making it to heaven, or whatever, wherever you're trying to go. It's just talking about this crowd, I would assume, as innumerable as the sea, in a way, right? Impossible to number. So let's go ahead and let the last few seconds of Aegean Sea play, and then we will move on to the next track. And we'll probably let the next few tracks just kind of go, because like I said, for the most part, they're kind of under 2 minutes or around that. So let's just let it flow. Unless I have something to say, then I'll stop it. But let's go. Great guitar, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Great guitar.
Second ball on the sea.
Let me stop it really quick before it moves to the next track. Really quick, because I want to catch what I want to say in the moment before I forget some things. Alright, this side of the album, as we move into the second side, this seems to have taken a strict and direct turn into the more abstract, into the more experimental, into the more otherworldly. Because now even the concepts have become less earthly, and I would even say less heavenly. It's just the other side, like the next dimension kind of thing, right? And I think that's really cool how like it's morphed into this cosmic kind of spiritual haven of discord, but also of melody. It's kind of moving in a really interesting pace. The tracks that we've listened to now up to the Marching Beast. All right, Seven Bowls. I interrupted a little bit. Seven Bowls sounded a little scary. Seven Bowls was a little scary. What were they saying? Hold on, let me put the lyrics up again. What were they chanting there? The first bowl on the earth, the second bowl on the sea, the third bowl on the rivers. Isn't the bowls being poured out like God's anger? Or something like that. Like I said, I don't remember exactly, but I think so. I think that like it's something like that being poured out. And the way that everyone's coming in and speaking there, it's a little scary. It's a little spooky, right? And then in the next track, the Waking Beast. So I think I really don't know. I think the beast comes out of the sea or something, and so the Awakening Beast, that's when it really begins to turn into like this dark, abstract kind of thing. Like it sounds like the children and the people who are speaking in the bowls were summoning the beast, because the beast. When we go back to not Lament, but Awakening Beast. After that glass breaks, the sharp piano chord, it's just like something is coming. The harbinger of doom, the harbinger of some massive event. And then when you move into Lament, Lament is like the pain and crying and suffering. So this lament is really exemplified by these vocals, which sound beautiful, by the way. This really sounds like someone in the deserts, in the middle of nowhere, just crying out due to their pain, to the suffering that they've experienced, not knowing how to find catharsis and find peace. And so their pain from inside is really just coming out. Now, these are kind of stories that I kind of put in my head, kind of like when we listened to Evangelist with Heaven and Hell. We listened to his whole album. And I couldn't help it, but I heard a story as the music moved on, especially in the second side of that album. And I'm kind of hearing a similar thing here. Now, I did think it was interesting that in Lament, there actually are lyrics that are being sung there. Alas, alas for the human race, alas for the kings of separation, alas, alas, Amane? Or maybe they meant to type in amen. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I was about to look up what Amani means, but I think that they meant to type in amen here on the lyrics. So that lament, that pain poured out from the bowls upon the people. I think I'm probably getting something wrong, but at least that's what I'm thinking. And then as we move into the next track, the Marching Beast, those horns come up, The music kind of comes up for a little bit like a beast. It's still kind of dark. It's not quite like melodic or anything like that yet, but it definitely gets closer. Sorry, that was probably really scary. I think this is cool. I thought they were going to kind of build on this beat here, but once again, it kind of changes and morphs back into a little bit of an abstract, progressive runs on the scales. And like, I could hear this on Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. So let's go ahead and let the ending of that play. We're here on Marching Beast right now. Let's go ahead and let the ending of this play into Battle of the Locusts. Sorry, I just wanted to interrupt and kind of like express myself and my thoughts before I forgot them all, and you know. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
The Battle of the Locusts. Do it.
I don't know what's going on this side of the album. I know that it was leading to 7 trumpets, but that's the third side of the album, so that'll have to be for next time. They're going for it, huh? I really don't even know what to think. Okay, so Battle of the Locust and Do It. Tell you what, hey, listen here. I'm gonna go back because that's where we left off. Battle of the Locusts. Just listen to this for a second.
The Battle of the Locusts.
Just listen to that for a second. I'm gonna help you out. Anyone else? Is it just me? Listening to Battle of the Locust and even a little bit of Do It. Maybe it's just because we're listening to Electric Ladyland on the channel recently, but I'm kind of getting a Hendrix experience out of this. From the guitar, the bass playing. I know. Like, this is extremely Hendrix to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Regardless, fantastic work from everyone in here. This is probably the most, besides Aegean Sea, this is probably the most like put together and composed track that we've heard on the side of the album thus far. That guitar blazing, that drumming and the bass work, awesome rhythms. This is great. And then they work off of that and come to Do It. I don't know why Palpatine is saying Do It here, but that double bass work, oh yeah. You gotta admit, out of the track listing here, you know, Aegean Sea, 7 Bowls, The Awakening Beast, The Marching Beast, Battle of the Locusts, Do It. The title of the song does stand out a little bit. It does stick out, but the music quite kicking, and I use that word liberally. Now, Tribulation is like a Geno Giant horn section here. It's more of like a setup for what's coming next. And then we move into the Beast. Alright. I'm still getting a Hendrix vibe from it. It kind of feels like a shift into like an American blues and American early rock and roll style. The weird way, could you find the beast or whatever? Like, it's, I don't know what they're doing. Big snare, by the way. A lot of echo in that. You hear that snare? That's a fat snare. Once again, that guitar comes back. Good drumming. You get something being said there. I don't know what's being said. And then Ophis? I gotta be honest, I feel like an old wizard or someone just cast a spell on me. I feel cursed right now. This side is definitely really interesting. I gotta say, like, on a first listen, Aegean Sea and Battle of the Locust are probably my favorites right now. I think Aegean Sea is probably the standout. Let me go ahead and pull up the vocals here for some of these tracks we just listened to. Give me 1 second to get to. Let's see. I think that one was instrumental. Yeah, that's instrumental. Do It. It was just Do It being said over and over. There's not much to read on that one. And then let's get into the Beast here. Who can find the beast? She's big, she's bad, she's wicked, she's sad. Who can find the beast? She comes, she goes, whoever knows. And this kind of repeats pretty much the whole way. At one point at the end, they say, I'm going to try and say this, Teleo nume edopera esti, which translates to, we're done now. Remember? I'm imagining that's probably just the band saying, hey, we're done, so don't keep playing. Don't keep going. And then for Ophis, I'm definitely going to translation for this one. I can't even read it. That must be Greek. It all looks Greek to me. It translates apparently to get out, damned snake, for if you don't, get out, I'll get you out. Okay, so probably like some sort of exorcism or something of that nature happening. If he's saying get out, you know? I don't. This was a weird side. Hey, let me know what you guys thought of these tracks. Let me know what you thought of this side. I would be happy to hear your comments in the comments down below. Let me know them all down there. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel on Patreon. I hope that you enjoyed yourself here. Hope you come back tomorrow. And I'll see you then, guys. Bye.